Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people. So are we all the same? We are not all the same. Because he chose us to be a special people above all people that are upon the face of the earth. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people. Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Indians above all people. So we not the same. We're not the same as the white man, the Arabs, the Chinese man, the Japanese, and all the other nations. We're not the same. All right? Okay. For thou art holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people and to himself above all people. What is this talking about? It's talking about number one, being above all the other nations. And that's why I was speaking on that nuclear destruction. Because the Israelites that's following these other nations gonna be destroyed. The Israelites that's following the customs of these other nations, the so-called white man, the Africans, the Arabs, Chinese, and so forth, gonna be destroyed. We're not to be following the customs of these people because we are special people above these people. Even though it may not seem like that. Because we was cursed, he put us on the bottom. All right? The Lord hath chosen thee to be a special people upon the face of the earth, above all people. So we not the same. Number one is better than all other nations. Verse 7 out of Deuteronomy chapter 7. Because the Most High did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people. For ye were the fewest of all people. The nation of Israel was the fewest of all people. But he chose us. He chose us, and regardless of us being the fewest among all nations. But because the Most High loved you, because he loved us, he loved the nation of Israel, which is number one. He didn't choose us because we were great in number. We wasn't not great in number. We were the fewest of all nations. But because he loved us, man, he chose Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Indians to be a special people above all people. That upon the face of the earth. So no matter how the other nations may make it seem that we are the same, we are not the same. We're not the same people. He loved the nation of Israel, not any other nation. Let's get there. Let's go to Psalms 147, 19 and 20. That's why when he comes back, he's coming back for Israel. He's not coming back for any other nation. Psalms 147, 19 and 20. He showed his word unto Jacob. He showed his word into Jacob. Why does it say Jacob? Because Jacob's name was changed to Israel. He showed his word into Jacob. The son of Psalms 147, 19. He showed his word into Jacob. Let's look at the book of Genesis, the 32nd chapter, and let's look at the 24th verse. And we're going to go back to Psalms 147 and 19. I'm just going to show you that Jacob's name was changed because it says he showed his word into Jacob. Jacob is another name for Israel. So we're going to go into Genesis, the 32nd chapter, to let you see that Jacob's name was changed to Israel. Let's look at Genesis 32 and 24. And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled with a man with him until the breaking of the day. There was an angel Jacob was wrestling with, okay? Some say it was the Most High. Genesis 32 and 25. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh. And the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint as he wrestled with him. Genesis 32 and 26. And he said, let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. This is Jacob wrestling with an angel. Genesis 32 and 27. And he said unto him, what is thy name? And he said, Jacob. Genesis 32 and 28. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince has thou power with gods and with men has prevailed. So you can see, according to Genesis 32 and 28, that he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. What does Israel mean? Israel means Yasha'Allah, okay, in Hebrew, which means he is a prince of powers. Okay? That's what it means. If you can see number one, Israel. In Hebrew is Yasha'Allah, all right? Which Jacob's name was changed to Yasha'Allah, which is Israel, which means that he became a prince of powers. How did he become a prince of powers? Because he prevailed over the angel when he wrestled with the angel, all right? So when Jacob had 12 sons, his son became the Israelites. And his 12 sons makes up the Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Indians. They are the sons of Jacob. So let's go back to Psalms 147, verse 19. He showed his word into Jacob. So when it says that, it's talking about Israel. It's talking about the 12 tribes of Israel, which is Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Indians. He showed his word into Jacob, his statutes and his judgments into Israel. Psalms 147, 20. He had not dealt so with any nation. That's why that take you back to Deuteronomy 7 and 6, when he said that he chose us to be a special people above all people. All right? That's why it says that, according to Psalms 147, verse 20, he had not dealt so with any nation. Because from 2 to 18, he didn't deal with them. From 2 to 18, he didn't deal with them. Number one, the nation of Israel is who he chose to be a special people. Number one is who he chose to be a special people. He didn't deal with 2 down to 18, beginning from the white man stopping down to Cyprus. He don't deal with them, regardless how they make it seem in America. He only deals with the nation of Israel, the 12 tribes, Judites, which are Negroes, Ephraimites, which are Puerto Ricans, Manasserites, which are the so-called Cubans, Benjamites, which are the West Indians, which are the Jamaicans, Issacharites, which are the so-called Mexicans today, the Levites, which are the Haitians, Naphtali, which are Hawaiians and Samoans, the tribe of Reuben, which are the Seminole Indians, down in Florida, okay? Zebulonites, which are the Panamanians and the Colombians, which live in Central America, and some parts of Brazil. Zebulon, okay, which is Panamanians and Colombians. Asherites, which are the Brazilians and Argentinians. Seminites, which are Dominicans from the Dominican Republic. And the Gadites, which are the North American Indians. Altogether equals the 12 tribes of Israel, which makes up Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Indians. All the other nations he don't deal with. Let's go back to Psalms 147. That's why it says 147 and 20. He hath not dealt so with any nation, because he don't deal with any other nation that is not Israel. He don't deal with the so-called white man. He don't deal with Africans. He don't deal with Arabs. He don't deal with Chinese. He don't deal with Japanese. He's only dealing with the nation of Israel. But we have not been taught that, because in the church, they teach you to love everybody, that all nations can make it into the kingdom. But that's not true. Psalms 147 and 20. He hath not dealt so with any nation, as his judgments, they have not known them. So he showed his word unto Jacob. Jacob's name was changed to Israel concerning Genesis 32. And his kids became the Israelites. And these are the only nation of people that he deals with. Not Jehovah's Witnesses, not Mormons, not Roman Catholics, not Presbyterians. All right, only the nation of Israel, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Now, they say, well, we don't agree with that. We think our people can make it into the kingdom. Let me clear that up. I'm going to show you that the kingdom is only promised to the nation of Israel. That's why I was bringing out the nuclear destruction in the beginning of the video to let you see that, look, the kingdom of heaven is going to be on the earth. The kingdom of heaven is going to be on the earth. It's not in the sky. It's not a mythological place. The kingdom of heaven is going to be established on the earth. But the only people that will inherit the kingdom of heaven as kings and queens are the nation of Israel. Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Indians. All the other nations will be enslaved. All right? From 2 to 18, they will be in slavery. They will be slaves underneath the children of Israel. We would take them as slaves. Before we go into who will possess the kingdom, let's get that slavery concerning that slave. Let's get that concerning Jeremiah. I want to say Jeremiah 30 and 16. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured. What is talking about? Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured. All thy adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity. Every last one of these nations, from 2 to 18, will go into captivity under the nation of Israel. How come they not telling you this in the church? How come they not preaching this? Why is they telling you that everybody will possess the kingdom? Everybody will be kings and queens in the kingdom. That nobody will be in the position of servitude. That nobody will be in the position of slavery. Why are they preaching this? Why they're not telling you that we will rule on the earth as kings and queens? Why are they not telling you this? We are not the same. Negroes, Hispanics, Native Indians are special people above all people. When it says above all people, that means above all other nations, above all the other families of the earth. All right? Only number one, which is the nation of Israel. Today, we don't seem like kings and queens because we've been cursed. He brought us on the bottom and chose all the other nations to rule over us. That's why we don't seem like kings and queens today. That's why according to Revelation 2:9, he says, I know thy poverty and tribulation, but thou art rich. Because the kingdom was only promised to the nation of Israel. So when the Most High returns to set his kingdom up on the earth, we will possess the kingdom as kings and queens, and all the other nations will be servants and slaves. Let's get that concerning Isaiah 14. That's why it's important to get yourself together. Because when this nuclear destruction hits Babylon, the ones that got their house in order, the ones that got themselves together, they will rule for 1,000 years during that first resurrection. The 2/3 that destroyed gonna have to come back at a later time in the kingdom as babies again. All right? So let's get Isaiah 14. But the Most High will have mercy on Jacob. Now we just went over Jacob concerning the name, how it was changed. That's Israel. That's the nation of Israel, Jacob. Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Indians. But the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and where yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. That's right, because we're not in that land today. We got Gentiles, heathens over there in the land of Palestine, Israel, claiming that they are the real Jews. The Khazarians, the Ashkenazis, from the Khazarian Empire that came from the Caucasus Mountains, located in the middle of the Black and Caspian Sea. They over there in that land claiming they the children of the Most High, and they are not. We are the children of the Most High. We have been dispersed. So it says, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and yet choose Israel and set them in their land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. So who are the strangers? Who are the strangers? The strangers are from 2 to 18. Europeans, Africans, Asians, Arabs, and any other nation that is not Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Those are the strangers that will be joined with them. They shall be joined with them. They shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Most High for servants and handmaids. That's slaves. So everybody is not going to have the position of rulership in the earth when the Most High returns. When he set his kingdom up on the earth, the only kings and queens and the only people that will be running the nation of Israel is Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Indians. They are the Israelites. All the other nations will be in slavery at that time. So the kingdom is not for everybody. How do we know that? Let's go to Revelation. Because we're going to show you that the kingdom is not for all people. It's only for the nation of Israel. Revelation 21:12. It had a wall great and high. It had 12 gates. At the gates, 12 angels. All right? So it's 12 gates. It's in the kingdom that's going to be on the earth. 12 gates. Why would it be 12 gates in the kingdom? Because the 12 gates represent the 12 tribes of Israel. So the kingdom is not for everybody. It's only for the children of Israel. All right? Let's look at the 21st chapter and the 13th verse. On the east, 3 gates. On the north, 3 gates. On the south, 3 gates. And on the west, 3 gates. So the north, south, east, and west, it was 3 gates on the north, 3 gates on the south, 3 gates on the east, and 3 gates on the west. That's 3, 6, 9, 12. That's 12 gates concerning the children of Israel. So how come they telling you that the kingdom is for everybody, man? It's only for the nation of Israel. That's why concerning Psalms 147, 19 and 20, he was telling you that he showed his word into Jacob and his statutes. That's why I said concerning the other nations, he don't deal with them, man. The kingdom is not for the white man. The kingdom is not for the Africans. The kingdom is not for the Arabs. The kingdom is not for the Chinese or any other nation that are not Israel. The kingdom is not for you, only for the 12 tribes, Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Indians. All right? That's why I was telling you about that nuclear destruction. Concerning Zechariah 13, verse 8 and 9, how 1/3 will be saved, which is the elect, and how the other 2/3 would perish in the nuclear destruction. The 1/3 would be part of the first resurrection. To see these other nations go into slavery. The 2/3 that are going to be destroyed would come back in the kingdom as babies again. Because the kingdom was promised to the nation of Israel, and everybody is going to get this kingdom. If you Negroes, if you Hispanics, if you Native Indians, you're going to get this kingdom. You can get it 2 ways. You can repent now, keep the law, statutes, or commandments, or you can be destroyed and thrown in nuclear destruction and be regenerated into the kingdom. The choice is yours. All right?